Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream on Fantasy Football Scout. Today as usual I'm joined by Gianni. We're going to look at my Game Week 14 team selection, some of my transfer plans, and have a look at my Game Week 13 score. Again, this is a Tuesday deadline I believe this week, a fast turnaround from Saturday, and we're looking forward to it. Gianni, how are we keeping?
Yeah, man, really well. It's been a good weekend, some good games, some beautiful goals, and a free hit that I think everyone that's free hit is on a green arrow. Unfortunate week for triple captainers, though, wasn't it? Like, when City score three, you expect something from the big man.
Yeah, and it was just one of those weeks that we've seen in past seasons with Phil Foden showing up. Very, very unfortunate for Haaland triple captainers. And those on free hit, I feel like anyone who was on free hit likely had Thiago and Foden, so it went really,
Yeah.
really well for those.
There will be some watching going, I had Doku, I had Cherky instead of Foden. But I'm with you, man. The vast majority had kind of non-negotiable of Igor Thiago and Foden, and they were the two that braced. So, yeah, I think everyone kind of got their points pretty much. Unfortunate for those that went Doku or Cherky. But, mate, I think Foden's been a really, I feel I've been saying it for weeks. He's playing really well, and the points are there. And I'm actually looking to buy Foden this week. And I was always open to it. Yesterday just confirmed it, but he started every City game since game week 3. His underlyings have been good. I know his actual points haven't been great of late. He's been missing big chances, but yesterday he looked like a man possessed, and he's Pep's first choice number 10. And he often plays with 210s. So yeah, man, I don't know what your thoughts are, and we're going to talk about your team and your transfers, but for me, Foden is so high on my agenda.
Yeah, he's one that I couldn't quite stretch to this week. By the way, lads, if you can see and hear us all right, do let us know in chat. And if there are any audio issues, we will be fast to fix them. But Phil Foden is one I couldn't get to this week. Again, not being on free hit, it was tough. I really, 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 really wanted to get him. My issue with doing that is there was no world in which I'd be able to get Thiago and Foden.
Yeah.
So, which we'll get onto in just a second, I've had to make some compromises. Now, I'm actually having a very, very good week considering I'm not on free, and I'm absolutely delighted with it because, again, it's just always the decision making is what it comes down to for me. And by the way, for anyone who's wondering if you are watching why I keep looking up and trying to see if Mo Salah is going to get on the pitch, we are recording this 5 minutes before the Liverpool game finishes and just before the Arsenal and Chelsea game. So I'm I'm looking up and down.
Oh my God, there's been a goal. Liverpool scored. And
Who?
it's the guy that everyone's got on free hit.
Gakpo.
Yep.
Oh no, that's not great now. That's not what we were looking for.
The
But yeah,
template wins out again.
yeah, it's been very, very strong this
I had
week.
Isak, not Gakpo.
You didn't have Gakpo, no.
No, man.
And there's
I mean,
also
I
been a
did
goal
all
in the
week, and
Brighton
then I
game.
decided to go different.
There's been a goal in the Brighton game as well.
Don't care about that.
But for those Vancouver mid owners. Anyway, like I was saying, let's actually just move straight on to my game week 13 score so far. So in front of you, I have my game week 13 score. I'm currently on 40 points before subs. Again, that's why I'm talking about Mo Salah and whether or not he's going to be subbed on. But yeah, so I had 3 free transfers going into this game week, and I had some big, big moves to make. I'm just trying to see if Dominic Szoboszlai got the assist here. Any clue, Gianni? No, it was Joe Gomez, it looks like. Joe Gomez with the assist. But I went into this game week with 3 free transfers and 0 in the bank. I decided to bring in Igor Thiago, O'Reilly, and also Dominic Szoboszlai. So very, very happy with the moves. Again, it brought in a massive haul with Thiago. O'Reilly is not necessarily one that haul big, but a 4-pointer which will take. And Szoboszlai, who's just got the 3 points, brings me on with a green arrow from 170k to it's showing 153, but after subs it is currently 120k, which I'm very, very happy with, of course. And to get a green arrow in a week where so many people have used the free hit, and I don't think any score from Saka or any other Arsenal defender due to Hincapie and Mosquera playing could hurt my rank. So a very, very good game week, and I go into next week with some decisions to make for sure, which we'll talk about in just a sec.
Right, it's a good week. How did you feel going into it? Were you like playing your transfers to bring in players that you knew people would go on free hit? Were you playing aggressive, defensive? How did you approach that? Because obviously you knew a lot of your competition was using a chip this week and you weren't.
Yeah, so again, João Pedro and Enzo are yet to play. I just feel like it was an easy decision to get rid of both of them before they play Arsenal.
Yeah.
You'd actually, you wouldn't be surprised to see Chelsea get a result at the bridge today, I don't think, with Saliba also missing out, Palmer coming back, and Chelsea are also on some good form. But for me, I don't know if it was a case of protecting, but I felt like it was quite aggressive to bring in Thiago and O'Reilly. Same with Soboslai, to be honest, and was very happy to make the moves as O'Reilly long term, and same with Soboslai, are quite good. And Thiago sets me up later down the line for a nice bench boost.
Ah, the bench boost on your mind. Of course it is. What did you uh make of O'Reilly? Because he was a big popular, one of the most popular choices on free hit. But also, I feel like those that weren't on free hit, a lot like you, were able to buy him because of his price point. And I think a lot will buy him this week with the Senesi yellow card suspended now. He's had 5 yellows. He got one yesterday. A lot will be looking at Senesi to O'Reilly because of, again, a similar price point. He had, I think, 0.89 XG I saw in the scout members area this morning. Like, proper goal threat, and he obviously got
Yeah,
the assist yesterday.
he is finding himself everywhere in the box. It's weird. It kind of like he's almost when City have the ball, more than happy to just sit in the box and wait for someone to swing it in across the 6 yard box. But yeah, he's picking up some great positions. A player on form. Um, Unlucky for City to lose the clean sheet, of course. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which is one from past game weeks. But yeah, I feel like O'Reilly will be popular this game week. Again, it's just how you gauge his minutes long term. I'm more than happy to hold on to him for Fulham at least. And then of course I'll have to use transfers come game week 15 before we go into game week 16. So the transfers are there to be made, but let's quickly run through my team from goalkeeper to forwards for anyone who's listening on goal. I had Nick Pope, but Dubravka has subbed in a forward to back with Richards, O'Reilly, and Timber. And it looks like Mo Salah is not getting on the pitch, so it looks like Joachim Andersen is actually going to sub in with a 4-pointer.
You take that though, don't you? That's
Oh,
a good
absolutely.
auto sub. I think most will have a 1-pointer on their bench. I've got a 0-pointer. Mukiele got 0 points.
And you know what? Going into next game week, with Mo Salah, who plays on Wednesday, I believe, with Sunderland at home, fully rested. Again, I don't know if you look at it
Fully
like
rested
that.
if he gets in the 11, mate. We'll talk about that later. But the way Liverpool have played today,
Yeah, I was gonna say, but yeah, very happy with Joachim Andersen. That means I am currently 120k now. Four in midfield in Bruno Fernandes, who's on 11 DEFCON, could be changed. And if he gets that, I believe he's a good chance of getting topped up to 3 bonus points. Currently on the 2. Elliot Anderson, who got his usual 4-pointer, DEFCON monster as usual. Saru got subbed off after a twisted ankle and a 1-pointer, which is very unfortunate. And Oli Glasner looks like he's come out and said that he'll likely not play before AFCON. So,
yeah, I mean, that looks like an immediate sell for many because he's going to start dropping in price very quickly, Sar.
exactly. Now, I'm not quite sure how that'll work if he gets that red flag in FPL. If it will slow down how fast he loses his price. But yeah, for sure, we'll definitely have to look at getting rid of Sar. Szoboszlai with the 3-pointer, which was very disappointing. But with Gomez playing at right back, I mean, it's always good for Szoboszlai. Again, the DEFCON numbers weren't there today, but just having a piece of that Liverpool attack. My current thought process is though with Szoboszlai playing 90 minutes and a quick turnaround, and Verts being back, also Ekatike, Isaac in form, it looks, after one game. But is there a chance that we see some reduced minutes for Szoboszlai? I'm unsure. Maybe just me overthinking a small bit. Erling Haaland up top with the armband, with a 4-pointer, and Thiago with a 13-pointer. Overall, very happy with the game week. It's still not over for myself. I have Yuri and Timber to play versus Chelsea. But overall, yeah, no complaints and very happy with the transfers.
Yeah, mate, your decisions this season have been amazing. Like, your transfers are hitting the vast majority of the time, aren't they? Like, with immediate effect, which is key. Mate, talk to me about Igor Thiago and where you're at there, because he obviously 13 points. Loads brought him in this week. Loads that don't have him, what do they do? Because I don't think he's an immediate transfer in, despite him being amazing. He's now got, is it Arsenal away, Spurs away? But then in game week 16, it's Leeds at home, followed by Wolves, I think. And in 16, I think Mateta plays City. I think the vast majority, and Mateta's part of the template, you don't have him, but so many will be waiting till 16 till they get Thiago now, because they'll go from Mateta to Thiago. But I guess you're looking at it going, he can still score against Arsenal. He can still score against Spurs. Like, he's been amazing, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been really good. He has been really, really good. He got an early sub though, which I haven't heard anything about.
No, there was a knock. There was a knock. Frank has come out and said they don't know about the extent of it, but there was an injury there.
Yeah,
It looked minor.
So I actually hoped on benching him for game week 14. Now we'll see in just a second. I have actually started forward to back for game week 14 with Thiago on the bench. So let's look at my game week 14 team selection. So in front of you, I have my game week 14 team. Let me quickly run through it before we talk about some of the bigger token points. On goal, we've got Nick Pope. One that I need to get rid of for sure, unless I want to play Dubravka with Crystal Palace at home. Now, I don't know about you, Gianni, but Crystal Palace looked really, really leggy in this game versus United after about 40 minutes or half time. They look shot, and Glasner said, they need to make some signings. So I've, not that I want to play Dubravka, but if you told me he'd be able to get a 3-pointer versus Crystal Palace with some save points, I'd take it. It's because I probably have issues elsewhere with the likes of Sarr. But we've got a 4 to back with Anderson, O'Reilly, Timber, and Richards. 5 in midfield. Fernandez, Anderson, Salah with the armband, Sarr, and Szoboszlai. Up top, we've got Erling Haaland. On the bench, we've got Dubravka, Thiago, Marquis, and Rodon. And it looks like it's just finished full time in the Villa game.
A lot on free hit, a double Villa clean sheet. So fair play if you did. I didn't. I went Marlon with Rodgers. I did have Martinez, who got the save point and the clean. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what you just said.
You're okay. I was just saying about Crystal Palace and potentially playing Dubravka.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. Yeah, mate. I watched the game on Thursday night because I was on free hit and worried about backing against Palace. I was like, do I really want to go and ditch my 3 Palace assets with a good fixture? I know Mateta got the goal, but my analysis from Thursday night, and I said this on my Friday stream, was I don't fancy them versus United because they're going to be tired. It was a big, important game for them on Thursday. Like, they are taking European football so seriously, they do not rotate. And those Thursday night away games, especially come the Sunday, you're just going to be a little bit leggy. And we saw it, especially second half. Like, it was a bad performance from Palace, and it was the effect of playing a big game on Thursday night away from home. Now, Glasner says, needs to go and buy players and he wants a stronger squad, but he doesn't use the squad he's got, maybe because he doesn't trust the quality there, but he doesn't rotate at all. Like, he trusts his 11, and he's got maybe 2 or 3 fringe players that come in and out the 11, your Kamadas or your Will Hugheses, but he's pretty much picks a squad when all fit from 13, and it's 11 of the 13 every time, and you're like, okay, is that a trust issue of the current squad? Does he not trust an Nketiah to come in and start a football match, for example? Or is it just a numbers thing? I think it's probably a combination of the two. He's got his favourites and he likes them, but yeah, they're looking leggy, man. Now, Burnley away is only 3 days' time, so I expect they'll win, but going to Burnley is a tough fixture, and with Sarr injured, is an immediate sell. If you own a Mateta, you're hoping he starts, but there's every chance that Nketiah comes in and gets a start in this one. But personally, I think it will be Mateta, and you've just got to pray that Palace still look good because so many of us are on the double or triple up.
Yeah, so just on the Sarr move, a lot of people will be looking to get rid of him. Now listen to this, Gianni. I've just checked my phone, looking at live FPL, seeing where we're currently standing after games have officially finished. Elliot Anderson has hit 2 bonus points in a 2-0 loss with 17 defensive contributions.
Wow.
5.3 million. Cheat code. So that bumps my score up a small bit, which is great. So currently, after substitutions, what's that? 47 points so far for me this game week, which I'm more than happy with in a week where so many use a chip. So I feel like he'll be a very, very popular one going into game week 14, Gianni. Speak to me about that. Would you be inclined to go to an Anderson?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it depends if you've got how much money you've got to spend, doesn't it? Like, in the bracket, fair play, he's brilliant, and fair play to you because no one really has him, and he does. He's sensational. He gets DEFCON every time, and you got to remember with DEFCON, you're often also rewarded in the bonus because it's the same stuff. It's the tackles, interceptions, blocks get rewarded twice, and he's so good at it, and he's on the set pieces. But if you're shopping for a Saar replacement, you've likely got a bit more money to spend. And if you've got a bit in the bank, you might be shopping in the 8 million bracket, right? So I don't think you're looking at an Elliot Anderson from a Saar for many. But if you are looking for a budget mid and you're selling a Reinders or whoever, then fine, he's great. But I think a lot selling Saar this week, how much are they going to have to spend? Probably around 7 million if they've got a few pennies in the bank. And I don't know, in that bracket, it is tough. Do you look at the Newcastle wide men? Can you go up to do you look at a Gakpo? I mean, I'm looking at a Foden, but I've got more money in the bank. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the assets who are around 6.5 million and below, assuming you can only make one move. You've got the likes of Mo Kudus, who's just scored again. I don't think anyone will be touching the Tottenham assets.
He's not going to AFCON at least.
Yeah, exactly. So at that bracket, not too bad. We've got Harvey Barnes with Tottenham at home, Burnley at home, and Sunderland away. I mean, with the form that man is on, you wouldn't be surprised to see too many go to him again. He did blank this game week. Jan Minta, who I believe got an assist this game week. Am I wrong saying that? Maybe I am.
No, unless he got the second. The first one was Minta to Rutter. And then
okay. No assist for Minta then. Other than that, you have the likes of a Caicedo. I don't think there is anyone else here that you'd fancy. So it's very, very thin from going down from Sarr. That's what I just feel like.
Most have a bit of money in the bank. So if you put that to say 7.5, let's just say managers have got a bit of money. Then what does that give you? What options? Like, does that get you a Gakpo, for example?
Yeah, so if we look upwards, we can go to, the likes of a Gordon, who is now back, getting decent minutes. I don't know about how you feel about Neto, Gianni. I don't even know.
Neto's so good. He's Chelsea's first choice wide man. Like today, we're seeing a start for Esteval, but I believe it's both of them. So it will be Neto on the left, I think. Well, have I got that right? Is he starting today? I've just saw the line. Yeah, he is. So Esteval will play on the right and Neto will play on the left, and it's not his best position, but it will work. I mean, Pedro Neto must have started, I don't know, in the last 10 Chelsea Premier League games. I bet he started, he started every game since game week 5.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he started every game this season other than one in the Premier League. Like, he is clearly the first choice wide man, whether it's right, left, or number 9. Like, Pedro Neto's a great shout.
Yeah, for sure. So elsewhere, you can go to the likes of a Semenyo and Gakpo, which I think would be popular. Not sure on Gakpo getting a start on Wednesday against Sunderland. How do you feel, Gianni? Do you feel, after that performance, goal and assist, he has to? Or is it a case where it's just complicated?
I'm just gutted, mate. The template's just rung out. Like, Gakpo was a good pick, and fair play to anyone that went there. But it's like, Isak was the ballsy pick and so close to 3 bonus and a 9.9 performance. Then Gakpo gets the goal, steals the Isak's bonus, gets 2 returns, and it's like, fortune's meant to favour the brave, and it doesn't. But look, Gakpo's fine.
Yeah, he is fine. But would you pick him in your own team, though, Gianni?
Does he start?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
He needs a rest at some point.
He does, and Salah's gotten full rest. Anyway, going back to my own team, Gianni. First off, I mean captaincy.
Man, this week. I mean, who would you say the top 3 candidates? Bruno, Haaland,
and Saka.
And Saka.
And then it would be Salah.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot now, having seen West Ham be quite poor today, having seen Man United be quite good, Man United with the home tie, Haaland with the blank, goes to Fulham, tough visit. I think a lot of Bruno owners will be on Bruno. And I probably agree with that. I'm not going to own Bruno, so I'm not considering him, but I will own a Burma. I mean, what's your top line thoughts on captaincy?
Yeah, I've I have it here on Salah, right? I feel like that's a full rest for Salah. I think he starts his next game. Again, there's going to be lots of people who don't own Mo Salah who will just off the back of free hit going, thank God I don't own him, and be looking at this game versus Sunderland at home and go, you'd be more than happy owning a Saka. For me, because I own him, I'd be very surprised not to see him start this game. Maybe I am being desperate and clawing onto some sort of hope with Sunderland at home. I can see that side of it as well, but because I own him, I'd be surprised if he doesn't start this game. But how I would rank him, I think Bruno's up there, man. 2 assists today, 11 DEFCON again. It is still
How
undecided.
many times has he hit 11?
It must be 3 or 4 now, and he's missed 2 penalties as
Last
well.
week, I think he was 11 and actually got downgraded to 10, which was quite funny because everyone was hoping he'd get bumped and
Yeah.
he got dropped to one. But you're right, it must have been 3 or 4 times.
So, like, he's definitely a good shout with how good he is at getting DEFCON. West Ham look, poor. Again, they're going to be missing Paqueta for this game, which is one of their best players if it's not Bowen. So,
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough game for United, of course, because they haven't been overly performing as well. But you have to look at Bruno for sure. Whether or not he's better than Saka is the conversation that I'd be more than happy to have. I think if I had Saka, I think he's a good fixture this week. Who was it against Brentford at home? It's hard to look past if you own him, and Arsenal are just on such good form. I think what will determine a lot of Saka owners whether or not they do it is, I think if Saka gets a return today, people won't think twice about putting the armband on him.
true. I think today's performance for Saka, again, we just go off what we saw the last week, right? We always do it. I think we need to probably discuss Haaland though, because we've seen a blank, but I don't think we should be thinking he's not in the equation. It's still Erling Haaland. He's still the best player in the game. Man City still score lots of goals. I mean, they look vulnerable defensively a little bit against Leeds in terms of the big chances conceded, but I fancy Haaland and Foden and Doku to still create a lot against Fulham. Fulham weren't. What did you make of Fulham versus Spurs? Because they only clocked 0.5 xg and they scored 2 goals.
Yeah, I didn't think we had to speak about Spurs on this, but yeah, two like I'm not going to call him stupid goal. The second one is definitely stupid, all right. First off, Gianni, remember we spoke about Vicario? I've told you that he needs to.
Yeah,
He's not
you
good
called
enough.
it.
Stream after stream, even when he does have these moments of brilliance, he is not good
Mm.
enough to be starting for Tottenham. Again, I'm not one to single out players, but it's just I'm fed up now. And
But I'm going to single out him.
yeah, the goalkeeper is one of those positions where you can't play about. You want someone
Yeah.
you're comfortable on goal with. He can't. His distribution is terrible, and we've seen that in the last game. But we've seen it all season. Secondly, he's a liability on set pieces, particularly corners, and he has been for some time. And he's one to blame other players, particularly young players, the likes of Pap Sarr, Lucas Bergville, Archie Gray, when he's the one who's a big part of our problems in recent times. 2 goals within 5 minutes changes the game state entirely. But yeah, Fulham didn't have a shot until about I think it was 70 minutes later since that second goal. And I'm a Frank in. I'm always backing my manager because I just feel like he's not got a fair tenure yet. Only 13 Premier League games in, he has one of the biggest injury lists out there in the league, and also no Harry Kane, who's often saved us season after season. And I just feel like it's the players. You come look at some of the quotes that came out today. I don't know if you saw them, Gianni, but players like Pedro Porro putting out statements saying only true Spurs fans wouldn't boo Vicario. Something on the lines, I paraphrase there, but he's one that was woeful yesterday. And I'm sick of our players, thinking that they're on a pedestal. Like, it's not good enough, and I need people to lead by performance. Again, Vicario can shout out all the youngsters he wants, but there are players who would stay quiet and lead by example, and he's just not one of them. Same with Porro. So I feel like it's more down to the players rather than Thomas Frank. And I am fed up, but I think getting rid of Frank is not the answer.
Yeah, I completely understand that. I said, I don't know if you were watching when I said about on Spurs on my Sunday debrief. I just think it's unfortunate for Frank that he's come in and he's got such a he drills his players hard on the training ground. He's a proper old school coach, like the detail for Frank. And we saw it with Brentford. They're so well polished in his game plan. But because Spurs are traveling in Europe and they're playing every midweek, he doesn't get a huge amount of time on the training ground. And therefore he can't make the sorts of changes he wants to. So it's no surprise. When Spurs get knocked out of Europe and they start getting a full week on the training ground, wait and see their weekend performances rocket. That'll be way better.
Yeah,
I with Man United again today. Like, they look well rested, they look well drilled, they did a good job.
Yeah, I just don't think he's had a fair chance. Like, again, whether it's injuries, Kudus missing out recently due to injury, and just even Romero not there. You'd feel much more comfortable. I know Danso, he wasn't particularly bad by any means, but he's probably arguably our best player.
Yeah.
He needs some more time, and let's move on from Spurs. But anyway, where we were going from that point was Fulham. Yeah, I think Silva's done really, really well with the group of players he has. If you look at particularly teams in and around Fulham in the league, he's probably done one of the best throughout seasons for what he has. And I feel like if he went to a bigger club and he was backed again, similar
Yeah.
situation, Thomas Frank. I feel like he just needs time if he does end up going to a bigger side. But yeah, Fulham look decent, and maybe Raul Jimenez would be one on the menu.
Yeah, yeah. They always. It's weird for them. They're a team that pick up some good results. They're a team that scores some goals and keeps some clean sheets. It's our currency in FPL. Yet we never seem to buy any of their players. I know Anderson's got a bit of love, but other than Anderson, like we never buy Fulham attackers, do we? And they're actually cheap and often do all right. Chukwueze had a good game, in and out the team though. That's the problem. But let's. I'm always on the look, but yeah, it's just not landed yet with Fulham attackers since the days of buying Raul Jimenez, I guess. So, mate, just to go back to captaincy, I know you've got the armband on Salah. If you were to give like percentages, are you like 30% Salah, 30% Bruno, 40% Haaland, whatever? Like, where is your 100%? How are you allocating that across, I guess, Salah, Bruno, and Haaland?
I'd say about 70-30 Salah Fernandez. Again,
So you're not considering Haaland?
I guess no if I'm not
Yeah,
included him in the
fair.
percentages, but I guess there is some part of me. You know what? Fulham away is a hard game
It
at the
is. And
cottage.
City on the road don't actually do a huge amount in terms of goals.
So that doesn't mean that I still have no doubt that he's more likely to score than not. It's just with the roots of points, if Salah does get his minutes, and if no doubt Fernandez is going to get his 90 minutes, and probably going to be really close to DEFCON again. So there's just so many other routes to points when I look at some of these assets, and that's why I try to look past Haaland. Um, I also feel like I have to make a move this game week with the likes of Pope and Sarr being out. Where would you preference to make this move, Gianni? Would you throw in Joe Rodon with Chelsea at home, hope he gets the DEFCON and call it a day? Throw in Thiago with Arsenal away with their discombobulated defence at this point, or just move on, Nick Pope?
Oh, mate, it's such a tough one.
It is a
It's
tough
a
one, and
shame
I've
you've
been
only got
thinking
one
about it.
free transfer. You kind of want to be a little bit. Um, I do think Pope has probably lost his spot. I think Ramsdale's going to get some game time now. But I also think Dubravka at home to Palace can wait a week. You can wait and see what happens with Pope because we don't know the answer to that first question I posed. So I'd leave Pope and then Dubravka's fine because Burnley at home are good. Like Palace might struggle, genuinely. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 0-0 in that football match. Um, so yeah, you've got a. Who would I want on the? I mean, look, Thiago could get a pen any week. We've seen over
Six pens.
25% of the Brentford goals have been pens.
It's because of Dango. He's just
Yeah,
he's so
man, he's won
quick.
4 of them. Yeah.
I don't know.
So, what's your gut saying? If your one and only move, what are you? Where are you at in terms of your gut at the moment?
My gut tells me to sell Sarr, play Dubravka. My issue is 6.5 million, like we just
It doesn't give you
discussed.
much.
Yeah, am I better off just playing Thiago?
But then you're going to have to sell Saar very soon anyway. So my question to you would be, where do you get the money to go instead of shopping for 6.5 million Saar replacement? Where do you get the money to go shop at 8 million or
Yeah.
8.5 million to get to a Foden or whoever?
Yeah, so this
And
is probably just
you need
people.
2 free transfers to do that, right?
Yeah, people
But
are shouting at the
unless you're
screen.
using Salah as a cash cow, I can't see how you do it.
So that's the point I was just about to get onto. And I think this is going to be an interesting discussion. I need to see some quotes from Arnie Slot before I consider moving on Salah. If they're not
Yeah.
good, and I decide, all right, time for Salah to go, I can be a bit more aggressive than I'd probably want to be. -4, Salah down to Saka, Brentford at home. Sarr up to Cole Palmer, leads away. On the bench today for Chelsea, doubling up on the premium mids. How do you feel about that, Gianni, as a Chelsea fan?
To what? Double up on Chelsea?
So Salah to Saka, Sarr to Palmer.
I mean, if he gets a good 30 minutes today, could be good for 60 in the week.
Yeah,
I don't know. You've got to be so careful with Palmer with his we rushed him back with his groin too soon, and then he was out again for ages. So we haven't seen Palmer since what, game week 2? Like when he went down in the warm up on my bench boost. Thanks. So I don't know if you're going too soon, but I understand why I'd want to go there because not many can reach Palmer, but you actually can. So it's a really nice differential. At your rank, no one's going to be on Palmer, and we know he's a phenomenal FPL asset, and he needs to start playing well to get in the England squad. Like that's not a lock now. Oh mate, I don't mind it for you. The Chelsea fixtures are there.
I don't love it. I'll be honest. I just wanted to throw it
You're
out
not
there.
going to get 90, but you know that.
Yeah, and I think the more likely, scenario if I do take a -4 would be to do Salah to Saka and Sarr to Semenyo. Semenyo with Everton at home. Again, he looks electric after coming back from injury. No surprise there. Rob from returns this game week. Unfortunate for any owners who are listening. But again, 2 home games, Everton and Chelsea, and then they play United away, which you wouldn't consider a bad game, before playing Burnley at home and Brentford away. And he's just been a player who's been on such phenomenal form so far this season.
Mate, amazing. Like, it's been there's just a handful of players where you're just like, yeah, the form is just there and they're flying. So I get it. Mate, I look at your team and I'm like, I know you're waiting on Salah notes, and then you've got to give him Sunderland at home and he's potential captain. But regardless of how he plays, knowing he's going to AFCON sometime very soon anyway, do you think you go into game week 15? Because again, we're not going to stream ahead of game week 15, so we should probably just mention that. Do you think you go into 15 selling Salah and maybe using 2 free transfers, Salah and Sarr go? Do you think that's a 15 lock for you?
I don't know the actual time frame on when a lot of these players are going to AFCON. I'll be honest. I've been waiting.
Yeah, we don't. The clubs haven't announced it. I mean, some will play 16, some won't. Some, and I think Mbermo's got a good chance. Could even play 17.
And that's what I'm waiting for. Again, he's Leeds after Sunderland, I believe, if I'm not wrong, and then Brighton at home. So again, I need to see what Arne Slot says. Again, are you overly surprised he got benched? I know there were a lot of talks about it, but I am still surprised to actually see it. A lot went there on for good reason.
Yeah, we discussed it in Chasing Green Arrows. I was like, could it actually happen? Like, we posed the question, but neither of us thought it would. So yeah, man, I think it's a shock. I think it's a shock to most of us. But I think Slot has. I think by Slot even not bringing him off the bench today, I think he's just make it very clear like there's a rotation going on. We're going to share minutes, but also if you're not playing well enough, you're not getting in the 11. And I think he does come in and start because of the minutes in the other Liverpool players' legs. But I do think there's a big question to be had. If they play really well without Salah during AFCON, he's got to earn his spot. Now, obviously, it's Mo Salah. He's still their most important player. But when his form's not good, or maybe his attitude's not been good, we know his defensive responsibility hasn't been good. He hasn't been tracking back, and Slot said about the work off the ball. So it's one to monitor. I don't see him as an FPL event at all. But I understand if you've got him like you have, you could still captain him this week, and I understand why.
I think Salah's too big of a name to be benched 2 weeks in a row. It's a 3-day turnaround for Liverpool.
It's too big a statement.
It is. You're causing too much hassle there almost. And we're not Salah hasn't been abysmal by any means. It's not been working for Liverpool as a whole. I did say it was more of a problem for Liverpool systematically rather than Mo Salah in particular, but for sure. I'm just looking at the minutes here. So Vert's got 75 minutes. Isak got 68. Kirk has got 85 before being subbed off. So Szoboszlai, Gakpo, Gravenberch, and McAllister all 90 minutes. I just wonder, looking at this next game with Sunderland at home, I'm trying to put my mind into Arne Slot's body, and I can't predict it. No matter what I do, I can't. He could play Szoboszlai right back. Gomez, I don't know if he's fit enough to play 2 games after a 3-day turnaround. I doubt he'll start. Could be Jones right back. Could be Ekitike on the left again after getting some minutes today. If you were predicting and you're a gambling man, Gianni, what would you have?
Wirtz can't start 2 if he's been out for a while. I think he's been out for a few weeks. He played for Germany in the break, didn't he? But I'd be surprised if he played. Szoboszlai plays every minute, God sends. And I think Isak, after scoring, keeps his spot. So I think it'll be Isak, Szoboszlai, Salah, and then either Gakpo or Wirtz.
Yeah, I hear that. I think I'd be very, very close to that. Now, who do you see playing right back? Is it Curtis Jones?
I mean, Gomez had a good game today, right? He even got the assist. They look more solid. Liverpool haven't been keeping clean sheets.
But he
I
can't play
think
back to
Gomez
back
might
90s,
keep the
Gianni.
spot.
He can't
Huh?
play back to back 90s.
Mm,
Surely. Like, this is his first game, and I can't remember the last time he played.
true.
And he's
I
also
don't
made
know.
out
I
of
wouldn't be
Weetabix.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. It's Wednesday night. I mean, it's not like he's had any minutes in his legs before, so there's no tiredness. But obviously, is he match fit? He trains every day. Like he should be match fit to come in and play 2 lots of 90. Right back's not when you're Joe Gomez, you're not that advanced up the pitch. Like I'd be interested to see his running stats, but he's probably in terms of the 90-minute men today, he was probably up there with the least miles, I'd have thought. So I think Gomez probably can play 2 games in 4 or 5 days. Let's see, because they're more solid with him. There's no doubt he's a centre back by trade.
Mm.
And if Bradley's out, Frimpong's out, you can either do makeshift and concede, or you go Gomez and maybe you lose a bit in attack or you lose a little bit on the ball, but you've got a higher chance of clean sheets. And I feel like at the moment, Liverpool needs to start shutting up shop, and keeping clean sheets is so important to them.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, though. If it was 4 or 5 days, it'd be comfortable. But it's on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. That's a really fast turnaround.
I know, like Man United played today and they're playing Thursday. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
In my position, would you sell Salah? Again, we have 4 or 5 minutes left, and then we'll answer a question or two. I do see a few of you guys in chat trying to get your questions answered, so we'll answer 2 before we close up. But would you sell Salah in my position with 1 free transfer?
No, I think he starts. And I think if you had 2 free transfers, I'd sell him and I'd improve Salah straight away. Because I want to shop upwards when I'm selling Salah. But knowing you haven't got the 2 frees and you're probably not going to take a hit, I would keep Salah. I wouldn't captain him, but I would keep him. And mate, Sunderland are brilliant this season, but they're not great away from home. You look at the XG they create away from home; it's very little. I expect Liverpool to have a fairly, two goal win, and therefore you want Salah in your team.
Okay, let's take one question before we finish up from Devon, and then we'll let you go watch the Chelsea game, Gianni. And best of luck for anyone who's listening who's an Arsenal fan or a Chelsea fan. Again, I don't often say best of luck, but you might need it today at the bridge. We have a question from Deben. He says, "Hey, Chai and Gianni, I was sacking Gabriel as my Arsenal assets. Should I replace them? Should I replace Gabriel with Timber, Calafiori, or someone else?" I'll leave it to you, Gianni.
Yeah, I mean, Timber's brilliant. I think we're going to probably see again another great performance. And Timber's such a good FPL own. He's one of the players I don't have in my team, and I'm like, why don't I own him? He's been sensational this year, and he's always got a sniff for an attacking return. So I like a move to Timber.
I also like a move to Timber. And then lastly from Fracture, says, anyone actually do better on free hit this week? I think I'm up by a couple of points. Yeah, I wonder, is there anyone who outscored the free hitters? I don't think it's possible with the amount of Cashes and Martinez's and Thiago's and Foden's, but do let us know in the comment section of this stream if you are one of those lucky managers. And I hope you enjoyed the stream again. We'll catch you again next Sunday. Gianni, anything left to say before we close up?
I think that's it, mate. I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks. I mean, now the deadlines are passing thick and fast. This is where you make the big greens or the big reds. So, yeah, good luck to everyone. Yeah, my team selection, if you're interested in my team, I'll drop it either tonight or 6 a.m. tomorrow morning on my channel. So do check that out.
And same here. I'll also be doing my team selection tonight or tomorrow morning. Not sure yet, but do stay tuned. So another enjoyable stream. And as usual, lads, we'll wrap it up there and we will see you in the next.